This was a massive spot to be in for such a young talent, to have a sold-out crowd completely behind her, down at points, Jimmy.
The tennis community is still processing what transpired in Abu Dhabi after Roger Federer exposed Alex Eala. What when Federer made a comment that nobody anticipated, what had begun as an exhibition match descended into a media frenzy. An all-time legend, a 22-year-old rising star, and one contentious moment that generated thousands of responses worldwide. Tennis is no longer the only topic here. The truth is at issue here. Abu Dhabi has always served as a backdrop for the splendor of tennis. Legends flock to play at the Mubadala World Tennis Championship, where the energy is high and exhibition matches frequently surpass Grand Slam finals in memorability. The lineup in December 2025 was packed. Federer, who is currently officially retired from professional play, consented to take part in a unique mixed exhibition series aimed at fostering the next generation of tennis players. It was meant to be a moment of celebration, a handover of power, and an opportunity for the new generation to be inspired by the old guard. The name of Alex Eala suddenly showed up on the roster. For those who don't know, Alex Eala is the best tennis expert from the Philippines. She had already achieved national fame, broken into the WTA Top 150, and won a Grand Slam Junior Championship at the young age of 22. Her ascent from Manila to the international scene was quite remarkable. Magazine covers followed, and sponsorships flooded in. She was referred to be Asian tennis's future. But pressure came along with the attention. Tremendous pressure that has the power to either make a champion or break someone. There were concerns over her participation in the Abu Dhabi display. She didn't rank in the top 50. She still hadn't taken home a WTA trophy. According to some insiders, her position was determined more by marketability than by merit. Others defended it by claiming that the purpose of the exhibits is to highlight up-and-coming talent. In any case, there were differing expectations. The fans were thrilled. The critics were doubtful. Federer also remained silent in public. Not quite yet. The matchup was touted by the tournament organizers. Together with other professionals, Federer and Eala were slated to perform a light-hearted, enjoyable mixed doubles competition. It was intended to be low-stakes, informal, and enjoyable. However, anyone familiar with tennis is aware of this. Something inside a competitor sparks when they are placed on a court. Even in retirement, Federer maintained his accuracy, grace, and expectation of a particular level of play. Eala, on the other hand, was eager to establish her legitimacy on that platform. There was a noticeable buzz in the arena that evening. With their phones poised to record every second, fans crowded the seats. Social media was a hive of activity. This was meant to be an inspiring tale of generations coming together in the name of sports. However, there are instances when the plan is changed in real time, and no one, not even Federer himself, knows what is going to happen. Let's first discuss what actually transpired on that court, though. The game got off to a perfect start. Warm-ups, smiles, and a few jokes were shared at the net. Federer appeared at ease as he moved with the carefree grace that characterized his professional life. Eala seems intent on making an impression, but a little anxious. The initial bab-aims were fluid. The rallies were tidy. The audience applauded. Everything seemed to be as usual. Then, though, something changed. It began modestly. I inquired about a missed call. Nothing out of the ordinary. It is a common practice among players. Her response, however, was a beat too lengthy. Federer looked over, spoke briefly, and the game went on. Another moment, a few points later. Despite hitting a shot that went just wide, Eala gave the line judge a frustrated look. Federer saw again. This time, he had a little different expression, a tightness around the eyes that conveys the message, "I'm watching." The tone completely changed by the middle of the second set. Eala was doing admirably, perhaps too well for a show. She was going for winners, making tough calls, and celebrating scores with fervor that didn't seem appropriate for what was meant to be a convivial gathering. The audience began to whisper. Did she take this too seriously, or was she merely trying to outdo Federer, who she knew maintained composure despite being visible to people who knew him? The silent word to his buddy, the slight head shake. He was watching and making notes in his head, but he wasn't upset. Then came the moment that would subsequently be broken down on social media, frame by frame. Federer just missed Eala's forehand down the line. With fury in her eyes, she turned to her side of the court, pumped her fist, and yelled. It wasn't the sort of party you'd find at an Abu Dhabi show in December, but rather at Roland Garros at Wimbledon. Federer stopped, moved slowly back to the baseline, and gave her a brief, intense glance. With something else, not with malice. Perhaps disappointment or worry. The game concluded without any problems. There were kind cheers and handshakes at the net, but something didn't feel right. The vitality had soured. Commentators and fans took notice, and everyone tuned in anticipating the customary small talk when the post-match interview was revealed. They received nothing, but Federer's subsequent remarks would rock the tennis world. The interviewer seemed upbeat and laid back. She posed the usual queries to Federer. What was it like to return to the court? How did he feel about the players of the new generation? After praising the occasion and smiling, Federer asked her fairly casually whether she wanted to play with Alex Eala. Federer hesitated for a brief period, but within that gap, the change was evident. Alex has talent, he said. There is no doubt about that. She has a promising future in store. However, I believe she misinterpreted the purpose of our event tonight. There was silence in the room. This isn't the Australian Open, he added. The WTA final is not happening. I thought she was playing as though her ranking relied on it, which is troubling, even though this is an exhibition, a celebration, and an opportunity for tennis fans to enjoy the sport in a laid-back setting. The interviewer laughed nervously in an attempt to lighten the mood. Federer, however, didn't change his mind. He claimed that over the years, he has played with many young players and that he always exhorts them to fight, compete, and give it their all. However, there is a distinction between competing and losing the present. I witnessed someone tonight who was so preoccupied with proving themselves that they lost sight of the reason we were all present. After pausing once more, he said the line that would make the headline. Perhaps you're not yet ready for this stage if you can't enjoy the game at this level and distinguish between competition and exhibition. The words lingered in the atmosphere. Calm, measured, but heartbreaking. In a matter of minutes, the clip was widely used. Twitter took off. The number of Reddit threads increased. Reaction videos began to appear on YouTube. Some justified Federer by claiming that he was a legend's rough love. He was accused by others of being cruel and of publicly degrading a young athlete who was merely giving it her all. It was an immediate and vicious argument. Federer wasn't finished, though. I hope she learns from this because talent alone won't carry you, he wrote in a follow-up comment. Character will. Eala would be plagued by that line for weeks. Additionally, the response came loudly, quickly, and from all sides. Social media turned into a battlefield. In a matter of hours, hashtags like Federer was right and Team Eala were trending all over the world. Tennis Twitter, which is known for its scathing commentary, went into overdrive. A few individuals shared videos of Eala's festivities, dissecting each fist pump, look, and intense moment. Others uncovered previous interviews in which she discussed the strain of representing a whole nation, the weight of expectations, and the difficulty of making an impression on the WTA Tour. Roger Federer recently humiliated the 22-year-old on global television. This is the reason why young athletes burn out, according to one widely shared tweet. However, the other side was as loud. No one was humiliated by Federer. He was honest. Even though it was only an exhibition, she pretended that she was playing for a Grand Slam. We call that a lack of awareness. Analysts of tennis offered their opinions. Former athletes adopted a side. In a calm reply, Martina Navratilova stated that although Federer's remarks were direct, they were based on personal experience. Others, especially the younger voices in the sport, believed Federer had gone too far, while Chris Ever noted that the emotion of the occasion might have been misinterpreted. According to an unknown WTA player, legends have a duty. Tearing someone down in public does not elevate them. Eala's group hurried. In a statement, her coach expressed her admiration for Roger Federer and said she competed with the same fervor that has carried her this far. Her management company quietly refuted the claim that she wasn't prepared for major stages by posting a highlight reel of her professional accomplishments. However, Eala remained silent. She didn't post, remark, or show up in public for 3 days, and her silence only served to increase rumors. Was she distraught, upset, ashamed, or was she gathering herself and planning a retort that would change the subject? Federer, meanwhile, encountered criticism of his own. He was accused by some of punching down and demeaning someone who was still figuring things out by utilizing his legendary position. Some wondered if he would have said the same thing about a player who was male. The topic of gender dynamics came up. Icons' privilege, authority, and accountability. Just when it seems that the story could not become any more intricate, additional details emerged because the backstage events were much more intricate than anyone had anticipated. There was more to this than a single Abu Dhabi contest. It dealt with the conflict between generations, the pressure of expectations, and the thin line separating public censure from mentoring. Roger Federer publicly expressed his concern over something he witnessed in Alex Eala. It is still debatable if that was the proper course of action. However, one thing is for sure. They both left after this moment of change. Eala had to learn a difficult lesson about equilibrium and when to fight and when to take a break. Federer reminded everyone that when they tell the truth, even legendary people may cause trouble. And the others, we were able to see one of the most intense moments in recent tennis history up close. You are now a part of the story if you have read this far. We never stop watching tennis drama, so hit the subscribe button and enable notifications. See you at the following one.